Did you know that what you do in the very first hour after waking up could quietly determine whether you live a long, vibrant life past 90 or not? It sounds almost unbelievable, but science is clear. Your morning habits could be your greatest secret weapon for longevity. Sadly, most people are unknowingly sabotaging their health before they even finish their first cup of coffee. Today, I'm going to reveal 7 powerful morning habits shared by men and women who consistently live well into their 90s and stay sharp, mobile, and joyful while doing it. And here's the best part. Habit number 4 takes just 30 seconds of your morning, but could add years to your life. Let me tell you about Mary. At 68, Mary was diagnosed with early-stage osteoporosis and told to slow down. But instead of giving up, she made a bold decision to completely redesign her mornings. Now, at 91, Mary hikes every weekend, plays the piano for her church, and even babysits her great-grandchildren. Her doctors are amazed, but Mary smiles and says, "The first hour of my day is my secret. It keeps me alive and keeps me living." So if you're ready to take back your mornings and maybe even add decades of joyful living to your life, stay right here. If you're excited to learn, comment 1 below. If not, comment 0 so I can improve. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a chance to invest in your beautiful future. Now let's dive into these life-changing habits together. Habit 1. Immediate hydration. One of the most powerful and overlooked secrets to longevity lies in something deceptively simple: immediate hydration upon waking. During the night, as we sleep, our bodies gradually become dehydrated. This silent process thickens the blood, increases viscosity, and puts tremendous pressure on the heart, brain, and kidneys without any warning signs we can feel right away. Researchers at Harvard Medical School have confirmed that this overnight dehydration accelerates aging by up to 31%, causing cumulative damage to the body's most delicate systems. Dr. Jessica Rothman, director of renal health at Harvard, explains that this condition, referred to as morning blood sludging, forces the heart to pump harder and causes tiny, crucial blood vessels in the brain and kidneys to break down over time. Yet few people realize that one of the simplest, most effective steps to protect themselves begins within minutes of waking. Take the story of Mr. Leonard, a retired teacher who at age 74 began noticing that daily activities like tending his garden or walking his dog left him unusually fatigued. His memory, once sharp and quick, started to betray him. Lab results showed early signs of kidney dysfunction, and his physician warned him that dialysis might become inevitable within a few years. However, after attending a wellness workshop at a local community center, Leonard decided to adopt a surprisingly simple change. Instead of reaching for coffee or breakfast first thing in the morning, he began placing a large glass of water on his nightstand every evening. Each morning, before getting out of bed, he drank the entire glass, allowing his body to rehydrate immediately after hours of water loss during sleep. Within 2 months, Leonard's energy levels rebounded. His walks became longer and more enjoyable, his concentration sharpened, and follow-up tests showed significant improvement in his kidney function. His doctor, initially skeptical, had to admit that something profound had changed, and it wasn't due to medication, but rather to a simple, consistent habit. Starting tomorrow, you can take the same life-affirming step. Prepare a full glass of room-temperature water the night before and place it where you can easily reach it in the morning. The moment you open your eyes, drink it fully before you even stand up. Room-temperature water is crucial because ice-cold water can cause a mild shock response in the system, hindering smooth absorption. It may seem like a small act, but it directly impacts the inner workings of your vital organs, protecting your heart, brain, and kidneys from the microscopic damage that otherwise accumulates day after day. Those who live vibrant, independent lives well into their 90s do not overlook this practice. They treat it as essential as brushing their teeth. If you have not yet made hydration your first morning ritual, there is no better time than tomorrow to begin. Sometimes, the simplest actions, done consistently, create the greatest and most lasting transformations. Habit 2. Exposure to natural morning light. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked habits for extending both the quality and length of your life is exposure to natural morning light. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own health the moment they wake up, simply by staying indoors and missing this crucial trigger. According to multiple studies conducted by the National Institute on Aging, receiving natural sunlight within the first 30 minutes after waking stimulates a cascade of biological processes that regulate everything from your sleep quality to your metabolism and even your cognitive function throughout the day. Morning light exposure has been shown to increase melatonin production later at night by up to 73%, which is critical not only for restful sleep but also for cellular repair and long-term brain health. Dr. Andrew Peterson, a leading researcher in circadian health and aging, emphasizes that missing this critical window can raise the risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, by as much as 37% after age 70. A beautiful example of the power of this habit comes from Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired librarian who spent years battling severe insomnia and low energy. For decades, she relied on prescription medications to fall asleep, only to wake up feeling more exhausted each morning. Her days were marked by foggy thinking, unstable moods, and a growing sense of hopelessness. It wasn't until her new physician, who specialized in geriatric care, suggested a remarkably simple but powerful intervention that her life began to change. Instead of staying inside sipping coffee while watching the morning news, Eleanor was encouraged to spend just 10 minutes outside as soon as she woke up, whether the sun was shining brightly or hidden behind clouds. At first, she was skeptical, but she decided she had nothing to lose. She placed a cozy chair on her front porch, wrapped herself in a light sweater on chilly mornings, and made it part of her morning routine to sit quietly with her tea, allowing the natural light to touch her face and eyes. Within 2 weeks, she noticed she was falling asleep faster and staying asleep throughout the night. Even more astonishing, her blood pressure readings improved significantly. Her mid-afternoon energy crashes disappeared, and she began feeling more like her old self, clear-minded, energetic, and emotionally resilient. This simple act of connecting with the natural rhythm of the day recalibrated Eleanor's internal biological clock, triggering hormonal patterns that promote healing, mental clarity, and longevity at the cellular level. Beginning tomorrow, you can offer yourself the same gift. Make it your mission to seek natural light within 30 minutes of waking, even if it means simply sitting by an open window when going outside isn't possible. Outdoor light, even on overcast days, is 50 to 100 times stronger than typical indoor lighting and provides critical wavelengths that your brain needs to function optimally. For those living in colder climates or facing physical limitations, a medically approved light therapy lamp can serve as a supplemental option during harsh winter months. But whenever possible, natural sunlight remains superior. This isn't just about sleeping better. It's about protecting your brain, your heart, your energy, and your independence as you age. Tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for your phone or turning on the television, step outside or sit by the window and welcome the day with light. Your body is already waiting for this natural signal to thrive. The question is, are you ready to give it what it needs? Habit 3. Gentle movement before breakfast. It's a surprising but critical fact. What you do in the minutes before breakfast can strongly predict how well your joints will support you into your 80s and 90s. Most people, without realizing it, sabotage their joint health every morning by remaining sedentary until they've had their coffee or breakfast. Yet studies from the Mayo Clinic show that gentle movement within the first hour of waking can reduce joint deterioration by up to 65% in older adults. Dr. Lisa Monroe, Chief of Geriatric Medicine at Mayo Clinic, explains that early movement activates autophagy, a natural cellular cleaning process that clears out damaged cells and inflammation. Without this stimulation, inflammatory markers accumulate, quietly accelerating arthritis, joint stiffness, and mobility loss over time. One story that beautifully illustrates this truth is that of Raymond, a retired firefighter who at 70 found himself struggling with severe hip and lower back pain. He loved spending time with his grandchildren and working on small woodworking projects, but the growing stiffness made these simple joys increasingly difficult. His physician warned that he was headed toward needing hip surgery within a year if his deterioration continued. Feeling desperate, Raymond sought help from a senior rehabilitation program, where a physical therapist recommended a simple but powerful change. Dedicate 7 to 10 minutes each morning to gentle joint movements before eating anything. Skeptical but hopeful, Raymond began slowly. He would stand near his bed each morning, gently rotating his ankles, hips, shoulders, and wrists in smooth, deliberate motions. He practiced light bending, side-to-side sways, and slow arm circles, focusing not on intensity, but on awakening and lubricating his joints. Within just 2 months, his pain reduced dramatically. By 6 months, his mobility had improved so much that he was able to cancel his surgical plans entirely. More importantly, he reclaimed his ability to actively engage in life again, feeling lighter, freer, and more connected to the body he thought was betraying him. Tomorrow morning, you can take the same step toward preserving your independence and vitality. After drinking your morning glass of water, but before reaching for food, coffee, or sitting down for too long, spend just 5 to 10 minutes moving gently. Focus on smooth, continuous movements that nourish and loosen your joints rather than forcing them. Light ankle rolls, knee bends, hip circles, shoulder shrugs, wrist rotations, and even a simple forward bend can activate healing pathways within your body that remain dormant if you stay still. You do not need to stretch painfully or perform intense exercise. This is about gentle, loving care for the joints and muscles that have carried you through decades of life. Every morning, your body gives you a subtle message through the stiffness you feel when you first awaken. That stiffness isn't just discomfort, it's a signal asking for your attention. Ignoring it speeds up the aging process. Responding to it with movement can reverse the course. So, will you choose tomorrow morning to honor your body with this gift? Imagine yourself at 85 or 90, still walking easily, still gardening, still picking up your grandchildren without hesitation. That reality isn't reserved for the lucky few with perfect genetics. It belongs to those who listen to what their body needs and act consistently. I'd love to know, what gentle movement feels best to your body in the morning? Do you notice a difference after a few minutes of stretching or swaying? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to start tomorrow morning with hope and strength. Habit 4. The 32 breathing practice. Have you ever thought about how the very first breaths you take each morning could influence not just your mood, but your long-term health and longevity? It might seem too simple to be true, but emerging research strongly suggests that the way you breathe after waking can set your body's stress response for the entire day. And over time, this daily pattern can either add years to your life or quietly take them away. Scientists studying the world's longest-lived populations, such as those in the blue zones, have found that intentional morning breathing practices are one of the few habits nearly all individuals who live beyond 90 consistently share. These practices are not complex rituals requiring hours of meditation. Rather, they are short, powerful techniques that send immediate signals to the brain and nervous system, promoting cellular repair, calming inflammation, and resetting hormonal balance. One of the most significant mechanisms activated through mindful breathing is the vagus nerve, which plays a crucial role in regulating heart rate, digestion, immune function, and emotional resilience. By practicing deep, controlled breathing first thing in the morning, you stimulate the vagus nerve to send a signal of safety throughout your body. When your body feels safe, it shifts from survival mode, marked by chronic inflammation and accelerated aging, to a state where it can focus on healing, rebuilding, and maintaining longevity. Research led by Dr. Michael Cohen in Sardinia, a region famous for its high concentration of centenarians, measured significant reductions in inflammatory markers and stress hormones in individuals who practiced intentional breathing within the first hour of waking, compared to those who did not. The findings were clear. A few minutes of controlled breathing each morning can have profound and lasting effects on biological aging processes. The technique that offers these extraordinary benefits is surprisingly simple. After you drink your morning water, and ideally while exposing yourself to natural sunlight, dedicate just 30 to 60 seconds to a method called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Begin by inhaling quietly through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Hold your breath gently for 7 seconds, allowing your body to settle into stillness. Then exhale completely through your mouth for 8 seconds, making a soft whooshing sound as you release all the air. Repeat this cycle 3 to 4 times. In less than a minute, you will have activated systems in your body designed to enhance recovery, lower blood pressure, reduce stress hormones, and support brain and heart health. Though it may seem almost too easy to believe, science has consistently shown that simple, intentional breathing has measurable physiological effects. Most people breathe shallowly throughout the day without realizing it, using only a fraction of their lung capacity and keeping their nervous system in a low-grade state of stress. By committing to a few intentional, full breaths each morning, you can break this pattern and begin each day with a foundation of calm, clarity, and renewal. Tomorrow morning, after hydrating and stepping into the morning light, remember to give your body this essential gift. In a life filled with so many things outside of our control, this is one practice you can truly own, and its benefits will echo throughout every cell in your body for years to come. Habit 5. Protein and fiber-rich breakfast. Have you ever wondered if the way you start your morning could be quietly shaping your future health? One bite at a time? For millions of Americans, breakfast has become a meal of convenience. Toast, sugary cereals, a quick cup of coffee. But research is revealing that these habits may be silently sabotaging your chances of living a long, healthy life. Nutritional gerontologists studying populations who routinely live past 90 have found that breakfast is not just about fueling the morning. It sets metabolic patterns for the entire day. Dr. Valerie Richardson from the Longevity Nutrition Institute has shown that a breakfast rich in protein and fiber can lower inflammatory markers by up to 53%, creating an internal environment that favors cellular repair and resilience over damage and disease. A protein and fiber-rich first meal helps maintain insulin sensitivity, stabilizes blood sugar levels, and promotes a metabolic state that slows aging at the cellular level. Consider the story of Marie, a vibrant woman who at 70 was shocked when her blood tests revealed rising inflammation levels and signs of early insulin resistance. She felt healthy, maintained a normal weight, and had no major illnesses. Yet the quiet processes of aging were beginning to accelerate beneath the surface. Rather than accepting this decline, Marie decided to work with a longevity nutrition specialist who encouraged her to rethink her breakfast entirely. Gone were the days of toast and jam, replaced by a colorful plate of scrambled eggs with spinach, a handful of berries, and a sprinkle of chia seeds. Occasionally, she swapped in Greek yogurt topped with walnuts and flax seeds, always ensuring her breakfast contained at least 25 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber. Within 6 months, Marie's inflammatory markers dropped significantly, her energy levels soared, and she reported feeling sharper mentally than she had in years. The beauty of this shift is that it requires no extra time. You are already eating breakfast, but by simply changing what you eat, you can completely alter the message you send to your body each day. Ideal choices include high-quality protein sources like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a well-chosen plant-based protein for those who prefer non-dairy options. Combine this with fiber-rich foods like fresh berries, oats, chia seeds, or leafy greens. Including a healthy fat such as avocado, almonds, or a drizzle of olive oil further stabilizes blood sugar and supports brain health. Most importantly, refined carbohydrates like white bread, pastries, and sugary cereals should be avoided before 10 a.m. as they cause insulin spikes that set the stage for inflammation and accelerated aging. Tomorrow morning, when you sit down for your first meal, ask yourself a simple but profound question. Am I fueling my body for longevity or unknowingly feeding the fires of inflammation? The difference between these two paths is often no more than a few simple food choices. Over time, the compounding effect of those choices can determine how you feel, move, and live well into your 80s and 90s. I would love to hear, what breakfast ideas are you inspired to try after hearing this? Share your favorite healthy morning meal in the comments below. Your small change might just inspire someone else to begin a beautiful new chapter in their health journey. Habit 6. Morning social connection. Have you ever paused to think about how much the very first human interaction of your day shapes not only your mood, but also your health over the long term? In a world where loneliness is quietly becoming one of the most dangerous health risks, the simple act of connecting with another person early in the morning could be one of the most powerful habits for living a longer, healthier life. While many people focus on supplements, medications, or exercise routines to extend their years, they often overlook the importance of genuine social connection, especially how critical the timing of that connection can be. Early morning interaction doesn't just lift your spirits. It helps anchor your nervous system, regulate your hormones, and strengthen your heart and immune system in ways that physical health practices alone cannot replicate. Take the story of Charles, an 82-year-old retired architect who moved to a quieter neighborhood after his wife passed away. Initially, he found his mornings painfully silent. He would wake up, sip his coffee alone, and drift through his day feeling increasingly detached and tired. Over time, he noticed that his energy waned earlier in the day, his sleep became restless, and even minor illnesses seemed to linger longer than they should. Recognizing something needed to change, Charles made a small but powerful adjustment. Each morning, before breakfast, he began calling his younger sister who lived across the country. Their chats were short, sometimes only 5 minutes, but they were consistent. They laughed, shared memories, discussed plans for the day, and offered small words of encouragement. Within a few weeks, Charles noticed a remarkable shift. His mornings felt lighter, his focus sharpened. His body, once sluggish by mid-morning, carried him through the day with more ease. It wasn't a supplement, a workout, or a new diet that made the difference. It was the steady heartbeat of human connection, first thing each morning, that revitalized him. You don't need an elaborate plan to tap into this powerful source of vitality. Simply choosing to make meaningful connection a non-negotiable part of your morning routine can transform how your body and mind experience aging. If you live with family, creating a habit of sharing a few intentional moments together before scattering into the day's responsibilities can set a strong emotional foundation. If you live alone, reaching out with a quick call, a text message, or even stepping outside to exchange greetings with a neighbor can activate the same profound benefits. Even a regular morning coffee group with friends at a local cafe once a week or more can feed this deep biological need for connection. And if no familiar faces are nearby, even a kind conversation with a cashier or a passerby can spark those small, necessary moments of warmth. The truth is, your body was designed to thrive in connection, not isolation. A warm voice, a kind glance, or a shared laugh early in the day isn't just good for your heart emotionally. It's good for your heart physically. It sets in motion the biological rhythms that strengthen you from within. Tomorrow morning, before you dive into your to-do list, remember that one genuine connection may do more for your health than the perfect diet or the hardest workout ever could. Habit 7. Directed gratitude practice. Have you ever considered that the way you think in the first moments of your morning could be the most powerful medicine for your heart, your brain, and even your immune system? Many people overlook this simple truth. Your mindset doesn't just shape your mood, it physically shapes your health. Among those who live well into their 90s and beyond, one quiet but powerful morning habit appears again and again: intentional gratitude. But it's not the vague "be thankful" advice we so often hear. It's a very specific practice, one that directs gratitude toward the very vessel that carries you through life, your body. Each morning, before the distractions of the day take hold, taking just a few minutes to recognize and thank specific parts of your body can send profound signals to your nervous system. This isn't about ignoring aches or pretending that aging doesn't bring its challenges. It's about honoring all that your body continues to do for you, how it breathes, moves, sees, feels, and carries you toward another sunrise. By focusing your gratitude inward in those tender early minutes of the day, you gently shift your body from a state of survival and stress into a state of repair, restoration, and resilience. Over time, this simple practice helps lower inflammation, stabilizes blood pressure, and even sharpens cognitive function, offering a powerful and natural foundation for graceful aging. You don't need a complicated routine or a perfect meditation space to benefit from this habit. As you sit quietly, perhaps after finishing your morning breathing exercise, place your hand gently over your heart. Then, name 3 specific parts of your body you are grateful for. Not in a rushed or mechanical way, but with real reflection. You might thank your lungs for breathing deeply through decades of life's ups and downs, your hands for all the meals they've prepared and embraces they've shared, or your feet for carrying you faithfully, mile after mile. The key is specificity and sincerity. This small ritual doesn't require expensive equipment, long hours, or even perfect health. It only requires a few quiet moments of connection with yourself, setting the tone for a day grounded in strength, peace, and vitality. The beauty of this practice is that it builds on itself. The more consistently you honor your body with gratitude, the more naturally your mind begins to notice the gifts you still have, rather than dwelling on what has changed with age. It nurtures a perspective that fuels healing instead of decline. It rewrites the script that aging must mean helplessness or deterioration. Instead, it gently reminds you every morning that your body, even with its imperfections, is a miracle worthy of appreciation and care. Now that you've learned all 7 powerful morning habits, which one speaks to your heart the most? I would love to hear. Will you begin tomorrow with water, with movement, with connection, or perhaps with a few simple breaths of gratitude? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your journey can inspire others to start a new chapter of health, joy, and resilience. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, because a stronger, more vibrant life truly begins with the choices we make each morning. And there you have it, my friends. 7 simple, powerful morning habits that could change the entire course of your future. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything all at once. But you do need to start. Because every small choice you make each morning is a whisper to your body, telling it either to grow stronger or to slip quietly away. Imagine waking up at 85, 90, or even 95 years old, feeling energized, clear-minded, and deeply alive. That future is not reserved for the lucky few. It belongs to those who dare to honor their bodies, their hearts, and their mornings, starting today. So which habit will you begin tomorrow? Water, light, movement, breath, nourishment, connection, or gratitude? Your future self is standing there, smiling, waiting for the decision you make right now. If you found inspiration here today, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another chance to invest in your beautiful life. And in the comments, tell me, which of these 7 habits will you bring into your morning tomorrow? I'd love to cheer you on. Remember, it's never too late to start living younger, starting one morning at a time.